Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlie, I'm glad you're here. And today we're talking about something that's been on my mind lately and I have to deal with myself, and that's feeling lost in your 20s. I'm 23 and I'm trying to figure out how I go on with my life after finishing college, what I want to do with my life, and I feel lost a lot recently. And I thought I'm gonna dive deeper into that topic and try to understand it, because I think everyone who's in their 20s feels that. Without further talking, we're gonna jump right in. First things first, let's talk about uncertainty. I already said that in the beginning. Your 20s are a time of major changes. You finish school, start your careers, and try to figure out who you are as a person, and it's totally normal to feel overwhelmed. But what I think we all need to remember is that that decade in our life is about exploring and growth and figuring out what we want to do. And I think we all should also remember that we shouldn't be afraid about that phase. We should try new things and make mistakes, because that's how we learn and discover our passions and discover who we want to be and who we want to become. And this uncertainty, basically for myself, I think, and I think for a lot of you, comes from being in your 20s. Nobody is making decisions for you anymore. Your whole path is laid out for you. When you're born, you go to kindergarten, you go to school, you finish school, you go to college or not. And then the feeling of uncertainty and feeling lost starts, I think, because you start to have to make choices for yourself that are very big choices, where the uncertainty just hits you sometimes. But one of the big traps we all fall in is comparing ourselves to others. Especially with social media, it's so easy to look at other people our age or even younger people and think that they have everything figured out, that they are way ahead of us. But here's the truth: no one really has everything figured out. We're all on our own timelines, so the important thing is that you focus on your journey and not someone else's highlight reel. Because one thing we have to remember is everything people post on social media, and that's not for every creator, but there are a lot of them still around. They only post their highlight reels and you don't get to see the downsides, when they're crying, when they're stressed, when they're feeling lost. Because as I said, I feel lost a lot recently, and I think you wouldn't know that if you wouldn't watch this video right now. Just look on my Instagram or on my TikTok, because I didn't talk about that there. And the same goes for everyone. You just share on social media what you want to share, and some things around you just don't want to share. So comparing yourself to others gives you nothing except more anxiety and feeling lost. And one thing you should prioritize on this feeling lost, figuring out who you want to be journey is your mental health. Because feeling lost can take a toll on mental health. You can get more anxiety, you can feel left out, you can feel behind. And it's crucial to make self-care during this time priority. Whether it's talking to your friends about it, journaling, or seeking professional help, make sure you're taking care of your mind and you're taking care of yourself, because as lost as you may feel, it's way worth going down that rabbit hole and just sinking into that anxiety, feeling lost space, and don't come out of it. Because I can tell you, everyone feels that way sometimes, and the most important thing is that you get it off your chest and you prioritize figuring out what you can do about it and taking care of yourself. And what I like to do in this phase is building my toolkit, because that's basically what your 20s are for. Building your toolkit, navigating through life, developing new skills and coping mechanisms that will serve you for life. So think of this time as building your personal toolkit, because everyone experiences good and bad things, and there is tools that you can use for that, and it's important to know what works for you, what you can do in these moments, and have that toolkit built for the rest of your life. And that helps you a lot, because this toolkit basically shows you that you can handle everything. The good, the bad, the ugly. It's all there. That's life. Life wouldn't be as great as it is if there wasn't bad things, because otherwise you wouldn't enjoy and embrace the good. So try to figure out what you need to do when you feel the anxiety, when you feel bad, and if you need professional help with that. I can't emphasize this enough. If you need professional help, or you think I'm stuck in my head all the time, I need something outside of my bubble to talk to, I know it's hard, but try to get professional help when you need it, because I myself go to therapy for 2.5 years now, and it helps a lot to talk to someone who isn't in your bubble, who just listens to you and tries to work through your problems with you. And it helped me figuring out my toolkit a lot, because my therapist gave me a lot of tools on my hand that I use on almost a daily basis to figure out where I want to be, what I want to do, how I want to react, and what kind of person I want to be. But the one thing you need to remember in this time period is that your 20s are the time of transitions. It's okay if your friendships change, or if you're still figuring out your career path. These changes are part of growing up and finding your place in the world. And if we're honest, we're only in our 20s. Everybody who's been in their 20s felt that way, and I know that I always looked up to the people who were older than me, who were in their 20s, and I always thought that they had everything figured out, but I can tell you they don't. And there are people that are a lot older than in their 20s, and they still need to figure out things. I mean, just look at your grandparents, for example, and the digital world. You have to explain that to them. They have to figure that out, and there is always something you need to figure out. There are always things that are gonna change in your life, but now it feels like it's a lot, because in your 20s you are feeling kind of like you are on your own with that, because you kind of are. You are on your own with your decisions. You are alone with figuring out who you want to be as a person, and you are alone with building your toolkit. But the one thing you need to remember is you're doing that for you, and you try to figure out who you want to be as a person, and every 20-year-old around you is doing the exact same thing. Maybe in another tempo as you, but everyone just tries to figure out where they want to end up in their lives, what they want to be, what their values are, what their goals are, the big ones, the small ones, where they want to work, if their friendships still work for them or not, if they move away from their parents or not. And it's normal. It's totally normal. Feeling lost in your 20s is normal. It's an important part of your journey, so embrace the uncertainty, be kind to yourself, and just remember everyone else is also figuring everything out as they go. And you've got this. We've got this. It's a challenging time, but it's also a fun time. You can try so many new things in your 20s. You can travel, you can meet new friends, you can do things you've never done before, and just figure out life as it goes. So even if you feel lost, look at life out of a kid's perspective, I want to say. If you watch little kids, they are fascinated by everything. Sunsets, butterflies, trees, they romanticize everything, and I think even if you feel lost in your 20s currently, romanticize it at least a little bit, because that's your 20s and you figure everything out. It's not as bad as it seems, and always remember to take your 20s for yourself and use it as a tool to figure out who you are, who you want to be, where you want to be in life, and enjoy it. Life is a journey, and it's not a race against time, and there are gonna be ups and downs, and you're gonna feel lost in your 20s, and that's totally normal. And I'm only at the beginning of my 20s, but you're gonna figure it all out. And if not, then so be it. You have your whole life ahead of you to make decisions or to start something new. Nothing is set in stone. Even if you decide to go to college for this one major, you can still switch majors. If you have your college degree, you can do a whole lot of things with that. And if you're not happy in your job currently, go and do something else. Sometimes you just need to stand up for yourself and try to figure out what you want. And that's most important in your 20s, I think, because, as I said, I repeat myself, this is a time of your life to figure everything out. To figure out where you want to be, what you want to achieve, what are your values. Embrace the change, embrace the uncertainty. Enjoy your 20s like it's the best time of your life, but still prioritize your mental health and don't get too much in your head about it. And if you need somebody else to talk to outside of your bubble, family, friends, etc., try to get someone else to talk to. I know it's hard, and I know it's hard to find a therapist, but if you feel like you need that or you need somebody else to look at your life, do that. And that's the end of today's video. I hope you found it at least a little bit helpful or inspiring. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a new video of me, so that we can navigate life in our 20s together. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Make someone's day this week and don't get in your head too much. And we'll see you. Bye!
Funky. My darling, I love you.